Alright, welcome back everyone, it's your Code King Zaf here, covering one of the craziest and juiciest builds I've ever seen to date. We're going to cover a build that just beat Deimos' Proof of the Strong 20 using the wrong elemental typing. Yes, that's right. As you can see right here, we're using a wind weapon and wind skills. Wait, what's going on? Isn't Deimos weak to light and fire? Let's check here. Let's go to Deimos. Let's go to the workshop, and I think I'm correct. Yeah, the recommended elements are both light and fire, but it's strong to wind, meaning incoming damage deals 50%, but still, we managed to absolutely decimate the boss. So what's going on? I'll cover it. I'll cover exactly what we did to ensure we just melt the boss with zero difficulty involved. Now, I do want to give a very quick update when it comes to the free supporter program to get your free codes, of course. The program is on pause right now. The support button is grayed out just because on May 7th, we get the brand new Season 9 coming in. So don't worry, if you forgot to extend your support, you can jump in on the 7th, support us yet again, and get all those free codes coming back to you. We're getting a bunch of brand new codes for your first anniversary, so jump in and support us on May the 7th. If you forgot to extend that way, you can get those benefits, of course, and join our Discord server as well. We have hundreds of dollars in giveaways for you, so don't miss out. We have over $650 in giveaways here that are absolutely insane. So jump in and support us and join our Discord server. That way you don't miss out. And I do want to give some shoutouts. First off, we have Moises, the first comment to our last video. Here's your shout, bro, and enjoy that juicy Discord role, of course. But I do want to give a shout out to Isu, and also we have Uric Mazzino. We're the ones who shared this build, and honestly, this build is absolutely cranked up. So I'll have both their channels down below linked, so you can check them out if you want. The fact that this build works when you're in the red is absolutely amazing, so let's jump in. I'll cover everything you have to know to ensure you can use this build as well, just because if you're struggling with Deimos when it comes to First Strong, or in general, this is the build for you. So I'll show you a very quick snippet of the battle, just so you can see what's going on, because visuals are always the best. So watch this, we're going to jump in and show you just how strong this build is. Watch, we get our buffs applied right here when it comes to our hunters. When it comes to armor break, we get the quarterstaff off. Now, watch the quarterstaff damage. It dealt around 6%, so not too bad, but remember, Deimos is weak to light and they are strong to wind, but watch this. We are going to melt them here. We use Stormbringer and then we use Death Sense here. Watch very carefully. The boss just got melted using wind skills. No light skills there being involved. We just went hard on the wind damage. Insane. So what's going on? Why do we just melt Deimos here? Let me show you one more clip here just so you can understand what's happening. Let me do it again for you right over here. So watch this. We're going to do the same thing yet again using our Stormbringer, using Death Sense. Watch, Stormbringer comes out and watch Death Sense just melt the target here. Insane. And the quarterstaff, sorry, comes in and just deals a bit of damage. So what's going on? I'll show you, because this build is one of the most interesting I've seen, and I do wonder, can this be used on every piece of content out there? I do think it's the case, just because the damage, well, let me show you, from the Stormbringer, not the skill damage, not a Death Sense damage, but the passive damage from this right here. When it comes to Storm Strike and Gathering Storm, you can see right here, when Hailstorm hits, it activates the following. We have Gathering Storm. When the user's wind basic skill hits, it inflicts the Storm Strike effect on the target with a duration of 4 seconds, where the user deals damage equal to 1600% of attack with a 0.5 second cooldown, giving us major damage coming in, especially when we have the A5 passive here, giving us double of that damage bonus, of course, but we also get the bonus damage from Tempest Mark, which is a huge multiplier too. So what's going on? Well, so let me cover the build here. Very simple. Obviously, when it comes to our stats, we have strength and intelligence. We don't put stats into perception just because when it comes to Stormbringer, it does mess with our perception overall, and for most of you, you are going to be in the red, so no need. You can avoid the perception stat, which is fine. You do want intelligence coming in. I could probably go for just with less, just because I have the mythic version of Awakening, but for most people at the legendary mark, the 200% intelligence mark is good to go, and the rest in your strength. When it comes to your skills, you do want Death Sense, just because it is the one skill that can be spammed non-stop, giving us so much wind damage coming in and proccing the passive over and over and over again. Yes, you heard right. So this skill is perfect. We also win this right here, not because of the break. When it comes to Deimos, they are strong to win, meaning our break is useless. I'll cover that. But you can see right here, we get a 15 or 17% bonus, depending on the ranking of the skill, which is huge to the target and the damage increase department, which we want. And when it comes to our Blessing Stones, very simple. We want Reawakening for the cooldown. We want Bloodlust for, of course, pretty much for every single game mode. The defense reduction on the target. And in this case, we do want this right here. For some reason, it just works when it comes to Quarterstaff damage and our damage overall, giving us a 20% damage deal increase, which is good. I mean, it's not bad. We also run this right here, the double-edged sword coming in clutch. So those are our Blessing Stones and our skills. I do want to mention for our skills, our QTs, you do want this right here depending on how high you're going up in the Proof of Strong department, just because the targets do get very strong. So this passive here, when it comes to Extinction, is very good, decreasing the target's attack by 40%, resulting in less damage L2, which is obviously key, so you do want that. When it comes to your QTE in the Collapse department, Thunderstorm is good, right? We get some wind damage coming in, but it's not a must, but just because the other ones here aren't very useful, right? I mean, sure, this one can be good if you break the target, but you're not breaking all the way towards the end, so Thunderstorm is the way to go. And when it comes to, I think we got like there, weapons, Quarterstaff, and the Stormbringer, so that should be everything covered minus artifacts. So when it comes to artifacts, simple, you want the curse set just because a 20% damage increase and a 0.1 stacking effect every second, up to 10%, so 3% bonus, and the, ooh baby, the Obsidian set, giving us a 60% damage deal increase when our mana is above the 40% mark, so you want to run this to ensure you get the damage coming in. And when it comes to our stats, I do want to mention that I'm running something new. This wasn't mentioned in their guides, but lately I am going very high in the crit damage department. It just works, right? Right now when it comes to the current world record holders for most game modes, for some reason they're running maximum crit damage, so I'm trying it out. I'll let you know if it works out, but that's what I'm running here, and these are the rest of my stats. We don't need too much defense pen, but damage increases must. You want crit rate to a high amount, that's 8,000-ish is fine. And yeah, precision, 90% is good enough for this, because you're going to be in the red for most of you. And then when it comes to our cores, I mean, you just copy this one here. The other two don't matter too much, but this one's good to ensure your mana is always up. And this one here, you can run 2 on Jinwoo. I don't have it obviously specialized for Jinwoo just because I don't need it. But for you, if you want less damage coming in, this one's very good to ensure you survive. And that's everything covered. When it comes to hunters, we run 3 hunters here. We use Lee Bora, where is she? Boom. Lee Bora for the charm effect, giving us more damage increase. We use Min, same thing, giving us more damage increase. Where's our boy Min? Boom. Again, this passive here I'll show you just because if you're new to the game. This right here, punishment bonus. And we use Malin just because her passives overall are pretty darn good, giving us a 16% attack increase. Pretty nice. And her passives too, giving us some effects here. So overall, Malin, Min, and Lee Bora are pretty much what works. If you don't have one of them, you can use, if you want, for example, Isla, same thing, all sports work. And I should show you their builds too. When it came to Malin, this is what we ran. We ran the Chaotic Wish set. When it comes to Min, we ran this right here, the Guardian set and Sylph's Blessing. And when it came to Libor, I believe we had the Blessing set. Yep, the Blessing set on her. So those are the builds. Let me show you a bit of the run just so you can see what happened. I mean, it's kind of a good reference to show you what the rotation is like. And beat Deimos, Proof of the Strong 20, of course. Now, when it comes to Deimos, I kind of just bum rushed them immediately, right? Use my Shadow set, use Armor Break, use the Quarterstaff here after using our Hunters, then comes out the Stormbringer, then I use our E-Watch this when it comes to the Death Sand skill and just gets melted, right? This skill is insane with the Stormbringer. I could not believe the damage. When we did our testing video way back when I mentioned it, I'm like, yeah, I think the Death Sands will be perfect with it, right? Giving us maximum damage, but it turns out it was better than anyone expected, beating Deimos with this build. Now, when it comes to Size here, you do want to get your power gauge up to ultimate, so you can use the Stormbringer, you can use F-Sands, you can use your QTs, use whatever, right? And do use Malin here preemptively to get the bonus supply, boom. So I use the ultimate here, clearing all those right over there. Once just boom cleared, then the Shadow Step comes in. So you want to Shadow Step here and get your buffs applied, so the Unbreak skill, use your Hunters, use Stormbringer, and then Death Sands from 82% all the way down, and then Quarterstaff to finish him off. Beautiful. Oh, you know how fast this run would be if the boss didn't have those like HP blocks? I'm actually not a fan of it, because we could get so much more damage coming in, but I mean, we can't, so it is what it is. So we're going to use this phase here as usual. Don't get hit by the red to ensure our damage doesn't get messed up with. Then we're going to go in the portal. Now, once we're on the portal, what I like to do is before Deimos comes out, or as he's coming out, I use my Shadows and one Hunter just because I do want to passive applied. So Maylin comes there, and our Shadows come here. Then I use Shadow Step, very simple. Then Quarter Staff or Stormbringer, depending on what you want. Those come out, and end Sands, dealing so much damage. Here comes the damage on the arm break front. Increase, come on, Shadow Step here. Yeah, what are you doing, Zeph? Oh, you can use it there if you want. Oh, I didn't use Shadow Step. Come on, man. You should use it there, then Stormbringer, then Death Stance. I mean, no run can be perfect, right? This was actually only one attempt. I did this run one time, literally one time, so it worked out perfectly. This was a very nice build, I'm not kidding. This was just go in, beat the boss, go out, and it just worked out. You want to make sure you stack the buffs. That's very important. And this phase, again, one of my least favorites, just because sometimes you can't get in the portal. It pisses me off a lot. So watch this. I don't know why I went for the middle. That's actually the worst one to go for there, because you have to dash in and hope you make it when you're out of dashes here. So there we go. I just made it. Now here comes Shadow Step and our Hunters, right? Pass is applied, arm break skill. Stormbringer comes out, Zaf, come on, making mistakes there. Then you want to use Death Stance here, and the Quarterstaff comes out after you dodge. You can use Thunderstorm too, doesn't matter. Use Shadow Step when you can. And here comes the Quarterstaff, 51%. Not bad, that's like, what, 6-ish%? Pretty good. Then you stack on the effects for your Hunters, use the Stormbringer, and then Death Stance again. So overall, that's pretty much what you're doing. You're getting the buffs supplied, and then you're spamming, literally spamming, because Death Stance, the win version, is a spammable skill. And yeah, that's pretty much the run. There's two more tips that you want to mention right here. When it comes to Deimos and the mobs, you'll see shortly, I think it's right over here, you want to use your ultimate to ensure these mobs get cleared quick, right? That's a trick. So we clear all the mobs here, beautiful. Then one more phase is at the 24.5% mark, remember. We're using wind skills, even though both of them do have breaks. We cannot break Deimos using them, because you can see right here, we've been fighting the boss for so darn long and we still haven't managed to break at all. It's kind of crazy how bad our breaking is when the target is strong, but watch very carefully. Here comes the 24.5% mark. Yep, so watch this. When Deimos goes in that phase where you have to break him, use your Remnant power when it comes to Baron and Thunderstorm to pause the game for a second, and boom, Baron does the breaking for us. Then we deal the damage and we break also here, which is great. So we get so much damage coming in from all the way from 24.5% to what? Let's see here, 6%, 5%, and yeah. Just be careful not to get hit as I get hit there, but don't get hit just because Deimos does pretty much one-shot you, so you don't want to be careful and just stack the damage. And I hate this part here. You're at 0%, but he recovers a little bit of HP. Super lame. 5%, and the Quarterstaff should finish him off potentially, right? And beautiful. So that's a run. Hope you enjoyed. Again, shout out to those of you who made this build. Aisu, thank you for showing it to me, and yeah, hope you enjoyed. The links are down below. Do support us as well on May the 7th to get your free codes. But that's the run, that's the build. I do want to see if this can be used in all content, but that's it for me today. This is your Code King Zaf, signing out.